I really wanted to have you back on because, the first one we were talking about different chronic disease and everything, but
Right.
there are these new advances you have been seeing in this new
Yep.
research. And it really rests around kind of bigger topics of the time, I would say right now. And I want to start with the hot topic that, so many people are talking about, which is long haul COVID.
Okay.
It's these people that get through the actual infection and then see these symptoms that just extend, which we know Tapley comes from a lot of different infectious diseases. You could see that with EBV, you could see that with Borrelia and others, but this is one we haven't seen before. So can you go into what you're seeing with that, with TruDOSE and the long haulers?
Yeah, I'm gonna address the long haulers, and then I want you to come back and ask me because we have blood data to show what this treatment does to things like EBV, cytomegalovirus, candida, mold. So long haulers, here's what we've learned is that the body, when the body gets insulted by something, and we'll just use, since we're talking about COVID, it doesn't distinguish between what the event is. All the body knows at the cellular level is that something's happening to me. I'm going to shut down and go into this mode of fight or flight and survival. I'm going to conserve everything. And so the longer your cells and your organs stay in that mode of fight or flight, you're in this inflammatory loop. And to make a long story short, that's a lot of what this inflammation and systemic inflammation is you're stuck in these inflammatory loops that your body cannot exit out of. And guess what? The platelets are the ones responsible for starting the healing cascade and your immune system to activate. And they're the ones who are governing the events, the cycle of events of your repair system and your immune system. And so when you get into these inflammatory loops, what it means is you're stuck at a certain particular event within that repair cycle, or you're stuck at a certain event within the immune system cycle. So let's take, you go through you encounter a virus like the COVID virus. Your body has to, you have your innate immune system that receives it. Then you have your interferon, immune system, which goes on the attack. And then you have your adaptive, which learns how to fight against it in the future. Well, if the body cannot, go through that cycle of events in a very systematic order, it'll get stuck. Let's say it's stuck when it's at the interferon, where it's constantly fighting something. And your body will eventually learn to just coexist with it. Well, what does that manifest as? Inflammatory hair loss, sensory loss, in my taste, sensory loss in my feeling, urination when I burning urination. COVID long haulers manifest a number of ways to people, but at the end of the day, what it means is you're stuck in this inflammatory feedback loop that you can't exit out of. When you take the platelets out of the body and for the TruDOSE therapy, and you give it at the right dose and you process it and you put it back into your bloodstream, what happens is the term is called immune recognition and repair recognition. That entire scene of events that your platelets are responsible for overseeing, it's like they're seeing it for the first time again. So there's no coexistence. It's like, whoa, we're stuck in these inflammatory loops of urination, hair loss. You just had a stroke. You just had, cardiovascular issues. Whoa, we got to fix this. And so the platelets are the ones that actually go into that feedback loop where you're stuck. It'll actually give the cells, the organs, whatever is stuck at that particular point. It'll give them the stuff that they need so it can complete the cycle and exit out of that loop. And guess what? When it does that, your burning urination goes away. You stop losing hair. The stroke that you had a couple of weeks ago, all of a sudden you were gaining movement again. So what the therapy does, because at the end of the day, COVID long hauler is basically my body is in an inflammatory heightened state. The therapy, the TruDOSE therapy, literally extinguishes that almost immediately. I mean, If you have real COVID long hauler, it is, I would say 50% of the time people even experience improvement before they even walk out the door.
Super impressive.